What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another video. Now in this video I'm going to be going over the weekly breakdown like I did last week. I'll be breaking down the same old pairs: XAUSD, US30, GJ, Euro USD, and yeah, so we're going to hop onto the charts now and see what we can find, as well as I am a little late. Just a disclaimer, just so you guys know, it's technically Tuesday right now, and this video is going to go live Wednesday, so the weekly breakdown is a little late, but nonetheless it's going to be the breakdown from Tuesday night. It's about 11 p.m. Eastern for the week. That's going to be my outlook on what I want to see or what type of trades I'm going to be looking forward towards the end of the week or tomorrow. I did take an EU trade. I did short EU on the way down. That played out perfectly. It hit my TP3, didn't hit my 4, but I do have some runners still running. Nonetheless, we're gonna hop on the chart now and see where we take this. All right, so starting off with gold, we're gonna do what we always do. Start off on the higher time frame. It's just simpler that way. And you're gonna see that I have an alert here, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm not too sure where this alert was from. So we're gonna remove that. So we're gonna see what we see nonetheless. So let's zoom out. We're on the daily. Let me see the weekly real quick. Okay, yeah, so it's kind of a weird spot, but I wouldn't essentially really have any interest in getting into this trade right now, just because me personally, I don't see a clear entry for me, whether it's a short or a buy. And for that reason, I'm most likely going to stay out of gold, but I will draw up a scenario or two for you guys. So we are, since we are selling off, we could start looking for shorts here. I'm not the biggest fan of looking for shorts here just because I'll show you guys in a minute. Now, if you see, even like currently right where price is, it happens to be that it's at a resistance area, and on the daily time frame, as you can tell, this resistance area was respected several times, and price has stayed below for the most part whenever it was shorting. So now let's look at the 4-hour. This is pretty ideal to get in. We did break the downtrend on the 4-hour, 100%. Obviously, we failed to make a lower low here, and we made a higher high. So if price fails to stay above the line we just drew up, 1830 on the 4-hour, like in the next hour and 56, then we'll possibly look for some shorts. And the main reason I say that is because we want to still stay true to this shorting momentum that we have right now and see where we can take gold to. So right now I'm going to use my shorting tool real quick, see what I can see. I just like using this, just it's easier to line up and see whether the trade makes sense or not. And it's a 1 to 6 here. Let's see what that's a 1 to 2.59. That's beautiful. So typically I would most likely want to take this down here, just because what I always look for is for there to be a resistance area becoming a support area, or a support area becoming a resistance area. Now, what I mean by that, I'm going to show you right now what I mean by that. So if we were to draw this up right here, exactly where that ends, let's put this green. Let me use my little, where's my brush tool? Here we go. All right, circle. So you're going to see this point of interest, right? Resistance area. Come over here. Support area. Support area, right? Now, all I meant by that was this resistance area became a support area. Price started holding above this and was bullish. Now, the main reason that we're going to draw it up all the way up to there is because price turned bullish every single time it held above this point. Obviously, below will be bearish, so that's exactly what we're looking for. So it's a nice little 1 to 5.7, 1 to 6 trade that you can take. This trade will most likely, it's 11:05. I don't really see gold. What I would think is gold's most likely to consolidate here. You know, just do some weird action like this. Maybe it'll do something like that and then come down, right? But a pattern that we would like to see is a break. Well, we already have a break essentially with the wick. We'd want to see like a little retest, come down, something like that. It's essentially what we're going to be looking for. Like I said, I for some reason, gold doesn't call my attention a crazy amount right now. So I personally don't really like this trade. And that's just my personal opinion. It's not financial advice or anything like that. It's just what, oh, well, I just dropped the mic a little bit, the little Bluetooth thing. Not Bluetooth, but the wire thing, whatever. But yeah, I don't feel very confident in this gold trade. It's still selling off overall. So I would be looking for a short if I were to look for a trade right here. I would say buys if it holds above this area, but nonetheless, I'd still feel more confident in a short. So maybe I'll add a little position here, just have some type of exposure. But like I said, I am more interested in EU and catching that short. So let's move forward on to US30. HMC. Yeah, well, yeah, you can also tell on the RSI it's about to be oversold as well. I mean, overbought. So that's not a coincidence, but it's something else that's on my checklist to make sure to get in for a sell. Let's look at the EMAs as well. It's all above, so essentially that's not what you want whenever you're shorting, but it's okay. Nonetheless, that's probably why I don't feel confident in it anyways. Now in US30, let's go out to the weekly. On the weekly, you're gonna see that we've been in this very ugly range that sadly it's lasted quite a while, and it's not fun just because price has been very indecisive. We do see a lot of selling pressure here, but fundamentally speaking, we're in a very weird spot as US30 is the top 30 performing stocks. I don't really like that, and for that reason, I don't essentially like US30 to trade at all, which is why I haven't been trading it in the past couple weeks. I just don't feel very confident in the trade setups, therefore I don't take them. Now, technically speaking, we are seeing that there is a lot of selling pressure. We are in a range, like I said before, that's just an ugly range. It's not a range that you really want to get caught into. And of course, if you're going to be trading consolidation or ranges, right here, obviously you'd be looking for a buy. Now, the reason I'd be saying a buy, oh, okay, let's do this. A buy is because you're basically taking it from the bottom of the range to the top, and that's an easy 1 to 6 right there. Of course, it's a very, very tight stop loss, so I may not completely recommend that, but that is a type of trade that you could take off the opportunity that is arising. This is on the daily, so let's see on the 4-hour and see what that looks like. 4-hour, major sell-off. What I would be more interested in is seeing the sell-off continue and break through this. So we're kind of in an area of interest to where, here, just to have you guys visualize things a little better, let's put up this resistance area. Let's make it red. Let's draw up our support area. That's green. Just so you guys can visualize what the range actually looks like. What I would want US30 to do in order for me to feel very confident on a sell position is I want US30 to break below, and then I want it to retest and then continue dropping. That's exactly what I would want it to do. Now, whether it's going to do that or not, since it's 11:09 right now and we're out of New York session, it's currently probably not going to do that. It's not going to have enough volume in order to do that. So what I'm actually going to wait for it to do is wait for New York open tomorrow morning and see what I can catch pre-market. Maybe pre-market will allow me to hop in that sell if it continues selling off. But let's take a look at Forex Factory real quick and see what type of fundamental news we have coming out that we could use. So tomorrow's March 1st. Beginning of March, we have USD, we have ISM manufacturing PMI. Take a look at that level of diffusion index based on surveyed purchasing managers and manufacturing industry. So it's kind of like consumer confidence, but in the industry level. It has some effect, but I wouldn't go crazy off of that. What's our expected actually? See our actual, okay, so our actual less than forecasted, so it's worse, okay. So this could impact us a little bit to sell off just a little bit more. For that reason, I'll still stick to my bias of wanting to sell. So I'm actually going to draw that up because I do like that short position. I'm most likely going to wait it out and be very patient with this entry. And I'm going to see where my next area of interest is going to be. I don't think that will do a crazy sell-off because it's not a huge news event that's going to drive price drastically down or do a crazy push down like that. But it is at least it is enough of a sell to where you can catch, a 1 to 3. So that I'll be pretty confident in, but just for visualization, I'll draw out exactly what I want it to do. Essentially, yeah, you kind of want to get in right there, but I'd want to get in on the continuum down. You could add another position here, so on and so forth, and then ultimately hold that position all the way through. So I'll move this aside. That way you guys can take a look at that. If you guys do want to know what the actual entries are, if you just follow, here, I'll lock this. If you just follow this line right here, you're going to see that this gray number right here would be the entry. The green number down here is the take profit, and the red number up there is going to be your stop loss. So in case many of you don't know how to read that, and you guys want to know what the trade signal would actually be, it would be that. But of course, take into account that I'm recording this on Tuesday night, and if you guys watch this Wednesday night, Thursday night, whatever the case might be, the data might not be the same. So the bias might change completely, and that's something that you guys have to be aware of. Of course, I'm a strong proponent or person that I don't want people to just take trade signals blindly. I want you guys to actually know what's entailed in that trade, as well as make sure that your own TA and your own fundamentals line up with that trade. So just use it as another confluence in order for you to feel more confident in taking that trade. Just don't take it blindly just because I drew it up on the chart and I made sense or I convinced you for it. Don't take my word for it. Just do your own due diligence. And if it lines up for you, perfect, you know, take it and make money. Pretty much. So let's drop another scenario for this, because like I said, if you are going to be taking this as a range, as a ranging trade, which I wouldn't, just because look at this massive sell-off, no remorse whatsoever. Yes, we've been in a range, but this sell-off does not give me much confidence that we're going to bounce off this and go straight up for a buy. But again, I'm not, what's the word for it? I'm not very biased. I've learned over the years that I'd rather not have a bias, whether I'm going to be shorting or buying. Of course, my bias tends to be with the trend. The trend's my friend, and that's something that I live by and I want to stick to throughout the years of trading, because it's what I've found success in, and it's just what's continued to work for me, and that's what I recommend, because I'm going off of my experiences and my past rather than something that I haven't done or tested or done myself. So what a buy will look like is pretty simple. You'd want price to stay right above this area. Just see a clear break. I mean, a clear respect and bounce. That'd be your buy. Or if you really want to be safe, add your buy up here. Perfectly fine. Either or works. I'll actually leave this up here because it's a little safer. That's the metrics for it. Actually, let me see where your TP could be. Of course, you could take this TP all the way up here and then do several little take profits along the way. This could be one of them. And if you guys are wondering why that take profit makes sense, it's just because this is an area of interest where price had some sort of resistance or struggle to get above. So initially, that's where you'd want to take at least your first profit in. That way you secure that just in case price does something like this. All right, whatever, come down, come up here, and then come back down. All right, you want to take your profit there, at least that way you have some type of profit to keep, and you would most definitely move up your stop loss to break even. That way you eliminate all exposure. So yeah, that's going to be your TP1 for that. TP2, I would draw up here, resistance, resistance. I will, where are my little circles at? Circle, 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 circle. Holy shit. Okay, circle, right here. Circle, oh, oof. Not fun. All right, circle. Boom. I hope this helps you guys see it better. All right, look at that. Awesome, cool. So another area where there's gonna be some turbulence, take your profit there, last profit up there, TP 1, 2, 3, break even right there. Beautiful. Now, since I did not do that for the sell, I'm gonna do that for you guys real quick. So yes, I understand. I moved the line to the range. Like I said, we're gonna go from there, and this one's gonna be a little weirder. Mind you, we are on the 4 hour. This 4 hour means that moves take time to happen. Yeah, so I don't like these setups as much as it wasn't as cookie cutter as the buy was, just because the range provided a little bit more clear price action for your take profits, but you can nonetheless still see it all across the board here. I mean, you can even draw one there too, but that's enough, right? TP1, essentially you're only really gonna have a TP2 here. If you really want to, you could of course take this way lower, which, you know, play it by ear, or play it by day, better said. See what price action is doing. Price, there's a lot of confusion in this area, which is why I don't really want to see it go past this, because then that means our economy probably took a turn for the worse, and it doesn't matter. We make money both ways, whether you're buying or selling in forex, so it doesn't really change much. It actually might be for the better. It creates more opportunity in the market. But that is going to be your metrics, not your metrics, but your trade signal, so to speak, or area of interest, or trade idea for the week on that. So let's move forward on GJ. Okay, GJ has been a little not turbulent, but it's been very wild lately. It's gone on this crazy push, which is beautiful, because you're going to see right here, even on the daily, because we were in this ugly range on the daily time frame, and you're going to see that we broke out of the range beautifully, by the way. And the reason I say that is because if you look at the 4 hour, it had like a perfect setup. I sadly didn't take it just because I'm currently working on a different business venture right now, and it's taking up a lot of my time, so I'm only taking max 2 trades a week, and this sadly was not one of the trades I took. Now, I wish I did, because you see a clear break, a clear retest, and look at that continuing. Look at that. Even then, even if you got in at this entry right here, you could even add right here, just because, actually, let me delete that real quick. So, right, break, retest, continuum, another retest right here, area support. I mean, technically you take it a little lower, come back here, and that's just a beautiful trade to take. And then obviously keep going up back to the 170 area, which ultimately it's where I see GJ going for the most part. So we are at an area of interest right here, which I am going to add a horizontal line. Let's move that to green, so I know above this are buys. And as you guys can tell beautifully, this right here matches up, right? Boom. Look at that. Resistance turns to support. 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 Like, this is amazing, guys. This is super good. All right, look at that. The resistance turns to support. And you could keep following along all the way through. So with that said, now we're going to have our entry for you, GJ. Beautiful. What is that? 166. Yeah, that's more than enough. Now, I would, of course, love to take this back. This could be a crazy swing back to this area up here where you had some resistance, and I'm going to draw up. This is a swing trade, guys. This is not a trade that's going to happen in 24 hours or 48 hours. This is most likely a trade that's going to take all week to happen. Okay, so take that into consideration if you do enter this trade and you do want to hold this position, right? Because if you do enter with your whole lot size and your risk to reward ratio is already adding up, and this is going to be your 1 to 10 or 1 to 8, whatever the case might be, it's going to take some time for it to play out, and it might not even completely play out. And the reason I like these big swing trades is because even by just taking your TP2, that might already be 4%. TP3 might be 6%. And I'm going to show you guys my areas of interest for my TPs. First things first, I am getting it down here. So my first TP is going to be up here. We had some resistance. That would be my first TP. Now, moving forward, my second TP. Do I do this every single time for my TPs? Yes, because I want to make sure that all my TPs make sense. They're not just some crazy price that I threw up on there and that I want price to hit in order for it to be considered my first TP or second TP, so on and so forth. So, second TP, boom, up here. Area of interest, of course. Third TP, boom, up there. So as you can tell, this is a several, there's several TPs to this trade just because it is a long swing trade. So look at that, you have TP1, TP2, TP3, TP4, TP5. So I'm gonna leave that up for you guys so you guys could take a look at it, write it down. Again, let me take that out. So you guys can tell right here, this gray number right here will be your entry. This green number all the way up here is your final TP, And these other green numbers right here are your TP1 to 4. And the red number down here is going to be your stop loss. Yeah, that's what I stand by. Of course, not financial advice, just my opinion and what I see in the market right now. So moving forward, I don't see GJ selling off, and I'm just not going to look for sells right now. If I were to look for sells, I would want GJ to come back into this zone over here and then sell off from down here. But that's just what I see. Now I'm going to move the EU. EU I've been very interested in just because it's a very, very clear direction that the market's going into. It's selling off massively, and I have a lot of confidence in the sell-off just because look at the sell-off that it's in. The trend is your friend. Yes, it did break out a little bit here, but nonetheless, it's still following your trend. If you really wanted to draw it up, you could, but I'm not going to do that because I don't want all that clutter on the chart. And all my technicals that I'm doing right here, I am keeping for the whole entire week. These are going to be my trades that I look forward to taking. If they play out, they do. If they don't, perfectly fine. The main thing you want to worry about trading is that sometimes every trade doesn't play out, or sometimes all your trades might not even play out. Maybe your entry never gets hit, and that happens, and you got to move on. And I know it sucks because you just wasted maybe a whole week of waiting for these trades to happen, and it just doesn't happen. You move forward. I digress on that point because patience is hard to have, and discipline is a bitch to develop in the beginning. But once you get it, you'll understand why you always stick by it, because that's basically going to mean what it's going to be the game changer, whether you're making money or losing money when trading. Welcome to my TED Talk. Longer video than I expected, but let's get it done. So I've been in this short already since up here. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I did not catch that wick perfectly. I got in on this candle right here, and this candle ended up going a little higher than I expected, but that's fine. I still held that through. On the 4 hour, we're gonna see that our main level of interest is right here, because you have resistance, you have support, the term resistance. You get the gist of it. Now, what I actually want to see Euro USD do, and that's going to be completely biased because I do have two runners right now still running on this trade. So yeah, I obviously am going to have a bias to me wanting it to continue down, and just because of what I see right here, right? So you do have a support area right here. So I do want this 4 hour to close below this area. That way it continues down the bias of sell-off and it doesn't consolidate here, even though it might consolidate for a little bit and it might continue going down. Nonetheless, my main point of interest for you guys to enter the trade, let me actually turn this red, right? My main thing is for you guys to short from up here rather than down there, just because the risk reward ratio makes more sense. And I'm going to explain why. This is exactly, I want to take it down to 10500 flat, but for some reason in my mind, I never like having the flat numbers. So I'll either do 50 to 100 pips above, just because I want to make sure that my TP does get hit rather than, you know, it getting wicked and never closing. So that's the reason I do that. Of course, you could just do a flat number if you really want to, but you can tell right here that this trade makes way more sense than you entering down here and only capturing a 1 to 3. So that's why, obviously it still makes sense for me because I'm still in it, but you guys, if you guys are not in this trade, I would take the trade from up here if price does reach that area. Now, will price reach that area? I don't know. I'm not too sure. I hope it doesn't, because I have my stop loss set to 6,200, because my runners, I want to make sure that I keep them at least 2% profit besides the other ones that I had closed out already. So essentially, we just want, well, what I would want, or what my bias is here, is for Euro USD to close below this. If Euro USD continues to close below this, it's a great sell-off, and it's going to continue. And I'll be more confident, and maybe I'll even add another position on the way down. If my position does get closed out here, I will pay attention to this area right here, and most likely, or most definitely, actually get in for a short from up here, just because I do like this price point. Because we had support here, resistance, right? Resistance, so on and so forth. So that's going to be the trade for that. If you were to get in here, I'm going to drop your TP1, TP2. This is going to be your TP1, TP2, TP3 down here. Beautiful. So again, I'm going to reiterate, This gray number right here would be your entry number, right? It just happens to be to have that red line there, but that's fine. Go off of that. Then your TP1 is going to be this red number right here. Then your TP3 is going to be right there. Then your final TP is right here, this green number. And that red number all the way up here is your stop loss. Hope you guys enjoyed the video and enjoy these little breakdowns that I have been doing. Please leave a like, subscribe, comment, whatever questions you guys do have, and take advantage of that private link for my Telegram that I have down below if you guys have any questions that you guys want to ask me personally.
Hey guys, sorry for interrupting your video, but I just wanted to let you guys know, if you guys check the link in the description, I do have a private little link right there for you guys to have direct access to me through Telegram. It's not a bot, it's not some computerized assistant or anything. It's my personal Telegram link to where you can send me messages on any questions you guys have or other topics you guys want to talk about, and I'll be more than happy to respond to you guys. I'll try to respond to as many as you as possible. If I don't respond at the same time, just give me a couple minutes or an hour and I'll get to you accordingly. Now, also in the link in the description, I do have all the free Telegram, the signals chat. I do have the website where I offer all the services, and I also have a direct link to the free Forex and stock market coursework as well as crypto coursework.